Creating animal and plant cells. Part 1. As we have been studying this past semester, cells make up something very important called a tissue. Then tissues form organs that make a system. Cells are just awesome. That's why I'm going to be talking about two types of cells, animal and plant cells, and how the organelles that compose them work in order to complete the basic functions. I'm going to start talking about the animal cell. Animal cells and plant cells have some organelles that are the same, some that are similar, and others that are different. The first organelle I'm going to mention is the nucleus. The nucleus is very important for the cell. You may be wondering, what makes the nucleus so special? Well, the nucleus is the one that controls everything happening inside the cell and its organelles. That's an essential role, but it's not the only one. It also carries DNA and the genetic or hereditary information, important for what the cell is going to reproduce. The nucleolus. The nucleolus is located inside the nucleus. It has the necessary materials to make ribosomes. Endoplasmic reticulum and ribosomes. The endoplasmic reticulum's job is to transport proteins. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The difference is that the rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes attached to it, and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum doesn't. Ribosomes produce proteins so they can later be transported by the endoplasmic reticulum. These two organelles work together. Cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a fluid that fills the cell, and it makes the work of each organelle way easier. The mitochondria. The mitochondria is in charge of breaking down glucose molecules to release the energy that is in it. The mitochondria has a folded membrane called inner membrane. The mitochondria is also known as the powerhouse of the cell. Golgi body. The Golgi body or apparatus helps by receiving the proteins transported by the endoplasmic reticulum, and then it sends them as secretory vesicles for many uses in the cell. One could be to store the proteins. Peroxisomes. Peroxisomes are surrounded by a membrane, and they have diverse enzymes that protect the cell from anything that is not good for it or that is harmful. Lysosomes. Lysosomes are very similar to peroxisomes. They break down things that do not have a function or that enter the cell. Cell membrane. The cell membrane is very important for the cell. It protects, it has communication with the surroundings of the cell, meaning it can let things that are useful for the cell in, and it stops things that do not have any function from entering the cell. The cell membrane is made from phospholipids. Centrosomes. Centrosomes could be called a factory where microtubules are built so they can provide support for the cell. Microtubules have one task within the cell, that is to help organelles move around the cell and with the help of the cytoplasm. That way, it is less complicated. Vacuole. Vacuoles are surrounded by a membrane and filled with liquid. It also stores different things that may or may not be important for the cell. In plant cells, there is one large vacuole, and in animal, there are multiple. Cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton, like the microtubules, keep the shape of the cell and works as a base that helps everything remain in its place all the time to have a stable structure.